Okay, so hello everybody. I'm Helena from Goodmoodfood, and I'm here today with Jenny Samaniego from Conexión Chocolate. She's our partner from Ecuador, and from Conexión Chocolate we are importing really, really nice raw chocolate for you, raw cacao. And so we're here today in honor of the World Women's Day, which will be on the 8th of March. And that's even a holiday now in Berlin. So it's a very special day. And so we're talking to Jenny because she is a female entrepreneur that founded Conexión Chocolate. And so we can show you whom we're working with, and you can meet our producers in a more personal way. We will ask her some questions about her company, and about her relationship regarding cacao. Hello, Jenny.
Hi, Helena.
Hello.
Thank you for having me, and hello, everybody.
Yeah, so just as a context, we are working with Conexión Chocolate since 2019, and we met Jenny in 2018 at the Biofach. It's a really big organic food trade show in Germany. And so when before last year, we were thinking about a new source of cacao in Ecuador. Our colleague Martin, he remembered the really good quality of cacao products from Jenny's stand at the Biofach, and also the really nice design of the Conexión Chocolate products. And that's why we thought, let's give it a shot with Jenny and her company. And yeah, we are really happy that today we can offer two sorts of raw cacao blocks in our web shop, and they're exclusively produced for Goodmoodfood. Yeah, so Jenny, we wanted to know, what was your first memorable experience with cacao? How did you get to know the cacao world?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I am originally from Ecuador, and I live in Quito. And my two parents are from small villages of different provinces of the country. And my mom is from the coast. So when we were children, we used to go to her town. And in her town, you find a lot of plants over there, between cane sugar, oranges, tangerines, and cocoa as well. So that, since I was a child, I've been eating cocoa, the fresh cacao though, no chocolate. And I think as a kid, maybe I didn't really understand much the flavor profiles, of course, the cocoa, no? Mm-hmm. But I will say that was my first experience with cacao. Mm-hmm. But something very memorable for me was in 2013 that I already started thinking that I wanted to make chocolate. Mm-hmm. And I visited one of the cacao producers in Esmeraldas.
Okay.
And they were working in their association organization. Mm-hmm. And I went to see them, and we went to visit the cocoa plantation as well. Mm-hmm. And I went with a couple of their cacao farmers. So when I was leaving the farm, I was actually opening the door of the truck that we were driving. Mm-hmm. And the farmer came with some cacao on his hand, and he asked me my hand, and I gave my hand to him, and he put the cacao on my hand. Mm-hmm. And closed my hand, and he said like, "Hey, remember, we're here, don't forget us."
Wow.
That was like super touchy for me.
Yeah, it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, and at that time he was one of the cacao technicians, and after 5 years or so, he became the president of the organization.
Okay. Which organization was that? What's it called?
That's Uoprokai. They
Mhm.
are in the coast of Esmeraldas, in the coast of the country. I'm sorry. The province is called Esmeraldas and the
Mhm.
co-op Uoprokai.
Oh, and today you're still working with them, right? Like,
We still work with
yeah.
them.
Mhm. Cool. That's really, yeah, that is a pretty touching experience and amazing that you remembered like until today, and yeah, that's pretty nice.
I think there are a couple of things that you can't forget, and those words and the emotional moment that you live at that time. I think it's something that will stick with me.
Yeah, and it's nice that you made it your work. I think that's pretty, I don't think everybody can say that from themselves. That's pretty cool. And so what do you find most fascinating about the plant cacao itself?
The plant or the cacao
The cacao
itself,
fruit.
sorry.
Yeah.
The cacao fruit. Well, I think the cacao is fascinating. Like, I think you just choose the right word over there, but staying in the cacao plantations and being able to taste in one plantation 5, 6, 10 different cacaos, and being able to identify that each of them have a different flavor profile, being only one variety, it's just unbelievable. Like, when I think it's one of the plants that when you open as well, you're able to smell the freshness of wines. We always compare this with wines
Yeah.
because of the fruity notes that comes directly when you open it. So the aroma is one of my favorite things of cacao, and I think when we do tastings, I always refer to that. And it's very versatile, so it has so much personality because you have to take it through a different process in order to be able to extract the best of the cocoa. But you have to be very careful in each of the processes, like the post-harvesting, the roasting, the coaching process, that you can as well lose all that marvelous flavor profile that it has.
It's when you say you open it and you smell it, it makes me really want to do that, because unfortunately, I've never been in a country with cocoa, and my colleagues have, but I've never smelled it myself. So that sounds really, really nice. And I heard you were saying within only one variety. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about that?
Yes, but before I say that, you always invited to Ecuador, so
Yes, thank
anytime.
you very much. Thank you.
So yes, so what I was saying, the cacao has different varieties, and Ecuador has this native, if we're gonna call it that, variety that's called Nacional, and this cacao variety is known worldwide for its floral aromas and fruity flavors that any of the other varieties out in the world have. So, and it's very interesting because there are efforts in Colombia and Peru as well to plant this variety. And unfortunately, it's not even growing in our neighbor countries. So it's very specific from Ecuador. And it's super interesting what I was saying, because in one plantations, if we picture like a nectar of a cacao, and you taste the fresh fruit from 10 different trees in the same hectare, you will find different flavor profiles of the same variety. So of course, it's amazing because when you taste the peach, of course that will taste like a peach. Different peaches will be a little bit more fruity or maybe a little more sweet. I think it's the same thing here in cocoa, but when you transform that to chocolate, or you will really be amazed because all those different flavor profiles are combined in one.
Wow. So would you say that's maybe sometimes, is that a good thing or a difficult thing when you produce one product, one specific product? Does it always taste a bit different depending on the harvest?
Well, yeah, that's a great point. So I think it will taste different because we are working with a real cacao, and we are making a real chocolate. So we can change nature. We can control the flavor. I think that's the beauty of it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I decided to work with cacao and actually minimally process our cacao as the chocolate and the product that we're producing for Good Mood. It's bringing up that unique flavor profiles that nature gives you. I think that's something very special that, you know, we wouldn't change. And as any other agricultural product, you know, according to the harvest, it will change. I think it's like us, like humans. Like, you know, we're in the summer, we're all happy, and if winter comes, maybe we're a little down. So I think it's the same thing, you know, with flavor in the cocoa. So for me, it's the beauty that, you know,
definitely
the world should enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. Because all the industrialized products, you know, a Mars bar will always taste like a Mars bar. There are no surprises. So I think that's really, really great too. Yeah.
Yes.
So what would you say makes Conexión Chocolate special as a brand?
I think we're a genuine brand, and we are a brand that we just want to transmit the work that the cocoa producers do, and also we want to bring out to the world the real flavors of the cacao. So we are people that are trying to learn from the world and trying to you know, understand how we can contribute, how we can connect with the world. So for us, working in this industry in cocoa, it's been amazing because we have been able to connect with many people and been able to share a piece of what Ecuador is and of the best things that we have. But being genuine, as I say. So I think that's something that is unique from us, that, you know, we just want to highlight the best thing that we country and with our products have.
Okay, so the name Conexión is very fitting. It's a very smart name, I think. It's very good.
I think, you know, Conexión was actually born after a huge research, but that word really hit me because I feel that we as humans, first of all, need to be connected with our own selves. I think if we really don't understand who we are, it's difficult to kind of have a genuine, again, connection with our environment and with the world.
Yeah.
So for us, Connexión has that deep connection that, you know, we really want to connect with everybody, with the nature, and of course with our food, because we are what we eat.
Yes. Also a very good saying. And very, very true. Yeah. So I think you talked about that a little bit before already, but what is the major difference for you between chocolate and raw cacao? Because you produce a lot of chocolate bars and chocolate products, but for us, for Good Mood Food, you only produce raw cacao. What is the major difference, would you say?
So the major difference, I will say, is that, you know, we do two lines of chocolate. So we do the roast line that we cook a little bit more the cacao. but we still are very careful on not losing the personality of the cacao, as we say. And producing, in this case, raw cocoa, it's amazing. We all are actually amazed of producing this, because it's more challenging for us to be able to do small roastings, almost like, no roastings, because we roast about 12 now. For example, the production that we're doing right now, we have to choose the roasting from 10 to 15 minutes. We're roasting actually 12 minutes the cocoa. So it's more challenging, because we have to really take care the post-harvest of the cocoa, and make sure that all these areas that in the industry, in the industrial cocoa, they don't even pay attention. They don't even care about the fermentation. They don't even care about selecting a good, the right cacao before, processing. I think it made us better, because now we're more careful. Now we have even more strict processes in the harvest, in the post-harvest, and in the production part of it. So I think it's super exciting for us. We always wanted, to do this, and that's what I think is the first samples that we give to Martin. But developing and keeping the flavor profiles closer to the real cacao fruit, as I say, when we open the fruit and you feel that aroma, and trying to keep that in the raw products is a challenge. So, as you say, like, you haven't had the opportunity to taste the real fruit, but for the people that have done it, they are able to identify that are two, like, almost the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. Every time, I mean, we're getting the second or third batch now, I think, from your cacao products, and it's even, I feel like every block even tastes maybe a little bit different. I don't know, maybe it's just in my head, but it's so, it's like an explosion of tastes. It's super nice. It's really cool.
It is actually, as I said in the beginning, cacao is like wine. So the cacao will go aging. So if you take the cocoa product, a month from the production to 3 months, it will taste different. And then if you taste that 6 months or a year, it will taste totally different. So it goes aging, but it's amazing, because maybe a flavor profile that you didn't find in 3 months, in the first 3 months, you will find in the 6 months. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm excited to try the new stuff as well. How that is gonna differ as well.
Okay. Just to give you a little head up there. This new batch, we're all amazed, because it's coming with a big hit of red berries.
Okay, I will look out for that. I've never been very good with the wine tasting bit. Maybe I'm better with chocolate, with cacao. So back to our questions. I wanted to ask you what made you decide starting your own business as a female entrepreneur?
Well, I think having many conversations with my parents say that I always wanted to do some sort of business, and since I was a child, but kind of taking to what happened with me was, I had the opportunity to travel to the US, and I met a chocolate maker that was making his chocolate from Ecuador beans at that point. And it was a French maker that didn't speak Spanish. And he was looking for somebody to help him. So I was lucky enough to get connected with him, and I worked with him for 5 years. So I was able to understand better the cocoa industry. And it was at that point also where the new movement of real chocolate was coming alive. So it was a great opportunity for me. I was able to learn how to source cacao from my own country, but also understand, like, the importance of cocoa, the Ecuadorian cocoa in the world. And in the next stage, we were exporting from Ecuador to the US, and in his factory, I learned how to make chocolate from bean to bar.
Okay,
and then
wow.
the next stage, I was able to move to sales. So I was able as well to understand the market there. So it was kind of a 6 years journey, 5 to 6 years journey. And for me, it was amazing because I was able to see how, the whole business worked. And, Eli was in my heart. I think it never turned it off. And I say, like, I'm going to start her. And I started with a dream, I have to say that. And in 2016, I returned to Ecuador, and I decided to establish Conexión. And we, have been producing since then this raw chocolate, the virgin chocolate line of products, and as well roasted. And so being little by little growing, and now we're kind of now we have actually 32 international chocolate awards for the quality of the chocolate.
Okay.
But we give it all to the cocoa producers, the cocoa quality that we are still working with. It hasn't been easy as an entrepreneur, but we're there.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a good journey, but it sounds like quite a natural development as well. So you learned your stuff, and then you said, okay, I can do this. I will try on my own. It's pretty cool. It's nice. So would you say that the experience in the US, like going abroad in general, was beneficial for you?
It was indeed. I think understanding the international market, it was a big team for us.
Yeah.
And being only in Ecuador, I don't think I would have been able to make the connection. Also understanding what was that the customer needed, and also learning from the industry and understanding that we were able to make a change there. I think, and also focusing, like, because for example for Conexión, we have been talking all this time about the Nacional Cacao variety. And something that I didn't mention before is that besides being only a variety from Ecuador, now it's a variety that's in danger of extinction for this new variety that's coming up, that's also being developed in Ecuador, in the CCM 51 variety that unfortunately is very competitive right now for in the country.
Yeah.
And we as Conexión, we like every variety, but we consider that this national variety is being grown naturally in our country. So, and we need to preserve this variety.
Yeah.
So we also work with Heirloom Cacao Preservation Project. It's a project that was born in the USA that looks at special cacao varieties worldwide and support preservation of this variety. So for us as Conexión, we're working with this project with the cacao farmers, identifying the best flavor profiles of cacao nacional in one area. And the area is incest. And we take samples, genetic samples of this variety, and with the support of this heirloom cacao preservation, we are replanting more of this cacao in the same area.
Okay.
So, so that's something that, you know, it's very important for us as Conexión also to keep preserving what we have best in the country.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, we advertise for this heirloom cacao preservation as well, because it's
Yeah.
I think it's really special, and I think it's good that you on your website as well you talk about it and you explain the importance of it. And because we have different cacao products, and I mean we are very excited about the flavor profile of Arriva Nacional. Do you actually say just Nacional or Arriva Nacional? Because we always say Arriva Nacional.
Yeah, well, the variety is nacional.
Mm-hmm.
The Arriva word,
Mm-hmm.
it's the history of the nacional variety,
Okay.
and it happens in the early stages of the development of the cacao when the cacao buyers were coming to the country
Mm-hmm.
to source cacao,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't know where the cacao was. And they were arriving to the port of Guayaquil,
Yeah.
and the cocoa was growing upriver.
Okay, so Arriba.
So exactly. So in English, the up translation is arriba.
Okay.
So when the sourcers were asking the cocoa producers, where is the, or you know, anybody actually at that point, I guess of there, they were asking where do we find this cacao?
Mm-hmm.
They were saying Rio Arriba, or
Okay.
up river.
Okay.
So that's when the name Arriva Nacional came from.
Okay.
But
Okay,
the variety is called Nacional.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So I don't confuse it. Nice. What did I want to ask next? Oh yeah, so in regards to the World Women's Day, I wanted to ask you about the major challenges, if there are any, as a female cacao business woman, maybe in the Ecuadorian context, but also the international context. Have you noticed anything that you could talk about? Mm-hmm.
Well, this is something that, like in my heart, honestly, I don't like to talk much, but
Mm-hmm.
because on my point of view, everybody is the same. But yeah, it has been. It is a very tough industry for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Being in, and for a couple of reasons. First of all, because what we're trying to do as Conexión, being a company that takes the cacao from the cacao plantation
Mm-hmm.
itself, process it, and try to sell internationally,
Mm-hmm.
where there are these big corporations of the industry, the chocolate, being already for many years,
Mm-hmm.
well positioned, and you know very well the industry, but beside it have these big financial arms.
Mm-hmm.
And then having also, and I will have to say this, but you know, majority of these corporations are mostly from Europe or
Mm-hmm.
Asia. And in the culture, I think if we talk especially from the American market,
Mm-hmm.
if they see that there is a French chef, or if there is any type of European culture trying to being established in the US, for example, that's the market that I know the most. They will open the doors, and you know, they're welcome. But when it happens that a Latina woman
Yeah.
comes from nowhere, nobody knows, even Ecuador,
Mm-hmm.
and is trying to present this new product,
Mm-hmm.
and in a country that you know is again being dominated from these big industries and corporations. So it has been super challenging for us to being able to get established,
Yeah.
and to have some presence. And sometimes we haven't been able to even get to panels to talk about what we're doing.
Okay.
So I think lately, maybe the last 3 years, once Conexión always was also getting a little bit more structure, is that when we have been able to get some more presence in the US. And when we also understand the importance of Germany actually in the developing of the market, and I had the opportunity to travel to Germany that I went by myself. I just bought a ticket. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go.
When was that?
That was 2018.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's a long time.
Yeah, it's 2018, and I went and I tried to buy Bio5 by myself, and I remember that I gave to Martin some samples and the catalog, but it was different. And I always share this, I kind of felt that what we were doing was valuable. We didn't get any customer in that show, but we gave a lot of samples, and the people took the time to taste the chocolate. And I was able to get a feedback from the people.
Yeah.
And when they were saying like, wow, like I remember like what we're tasting is amazing. This is real. I think when I left that show, even though we didn't find any customer, I left more confident.
Nice.
And I say, we're in the right track. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I felt that the Biofach in general is quite a nice environment actually when I was there. So yeah. Cool. Yeah, so more in regards to the production process of cacao and actually manufacturing the products, is there like a division between tasks that are only or rather likely being done by women and some that mostly men do?
So it's a great question. I think since we are in the industry, and I'm gonna say maybe about 10 years ago, I didn't see much woman involvement, first of all, in either the post-harvest or the processing of the product. But there are a couple of reasons. In the farms, usually men will go out for the agricultural work, while woman was doing more the housework, the housekeeping work. And cacao in general, in the plantations, I think is still the same. I think it's still more being managed by men. But when we're talking about the post-harvesting, so the post-harvesting is the second stage when we get the cacao beans in the collection centers, and now in the collection centers we are drying the beans. I think we're seeing more women there.
Okay.
Now, and it's the women tasks also are softer than carrying 100 kilo of quintal of cacao. So women are more involved now, also as the technicians. I think with the new generations of also cocoa farmers, that they have been able to send their daughters or sons to schools, to universities. So they are also coming as the technicians. So you see them more on the farms, but now working more in the technical stuff with the cacao producers to help them to understand, how to improve the productivity of cocoa, or why not to use pesticides or fertilizers in their cacao productions. So that's something amazing that's happening right now. at least in Ecuador. And yeah, we want to see, of course, more women involvement as well. We are in the plans of now developing one of our biggest, you want to call it, projects with women, that in one of the areas in Los Rios province, where actually your cacao comes from, there are, it's been understood that more babies are born from younger girls.
Okay.
So girls of 15, 16, 17 years old are having child are these early years.
Okay.
So we are in the process of studying this, and we want to create a campaign with the co-ops that we work there to be able to share education about healthy sex, if we want to call it that way. So
contraception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's something that we are in the development of a project, but we consider that it's going to have a big impact in these areas.
Yeah. Wow, that's really impressive. I didn't know that you are involved. I mean, I knew social projects, but I didn't know any details either. So that's really, I think that's a really great starting point, actually. That's where, I mean, it's known that the empowerment of women and the education of women, it helps the development in general of a country. So
yes. So we want, like, you know, even for the women that are still, and I say invisible in the households, because if we think, you know, what usually happen in a family, in a farming family. So usually the man will go super early to work.
Yeah.
A woman will have waken up at 4 a.m. to prepare their lunch. They will leave at 6, 7 p.m. They will come back at 3, 4 p.m. after work, and they will go, you know, to socialize with friends and etc. But the woman will still at home.
Yeah.
The woman will still taking care of the kids, educating the kids, cooking, doing the house job, and etc. So we want as well to highlight those women and be able to as well share education to them, so they also have access for empowerment, the economic empowerment. So we also, as I say, we are working right now in the project. So we want to encourage women as well to get involved in the harvesting process and be able to bring their cocoa to the collection center. And we want to incentivize with a higher, with the premium to their cacao.
Wow. Okay, I think that's a really good idea. Yeah. Great.
Yes, but we understand that the only ways for our farmers, female farmers, is to nivellate them in education and giving them skills that they can, you know, use it and move forward by themselves.
Yeah. I'm sorry I have to interrupt you. I need to stop the recording because it only does 40 minutes and I have to start recording again. I hope I have everything now. 1 second. Yeah, so that sounds really great, that project. Are there any similar kind of social projects that you do in regards to female cacao farmers?
Well, other project that we have is also with the co-op of Uoporkai. And this project that we started with the young cacao farmers, where we wanted to make a special chocolate bar with them. And we wanted to understand, make this actually more inclusive for female women as well. When we call a young cacao project, it's because we are working in this project with people of 18 to 30 years old.
Yeah.
So what this project does is to make sure that so to kind of summarize, one of the biggest problems that agriculture currently have in worldwide is that the farms are being taken care by elder people over 65 years old, 70 years, 80 years old. Sometimes you find farmers.
Yeah.
So these people, unfortunately, aren't able to take care more of the cacao plantations, or even if they do, they are able to do it only certain part of the work. So, and we're seeing that there is a big immigration of the young generation of farmers to the cities, but they go without education. They go with uncertain futures. They don't even know where they go. Even to the big cities, they don't have sometimes family, and they just go to explore, and some in not having the security where they go. It unfortunately makes the immigration uncertain and not beneficial for them. So what's happening is that they're going back to the cacao plantations and to work again in their lands, but not having education again, not having improving their lives again.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do now with them is to create a project with them having cacao only harvested by them.
Okay.
It's a project that we're trying to make sure the parents or grandparents or anybody that owns the land give them a piece of land but they have to be responsible for harvesting the land, maintaining the line, and bringing all that cacao to the collection center. So in here, we're also paying an extra premium price for their cocoa, and as well giving them, in collaboration with the cooperative that we work, some technical information about how to improve the cacao plantation, how to manage their money, that as well were the premium price that as well we're paying for the cacao, and how to as well use the other products that they have in the same farm, because the farms that we work with are biodiverse. So in one farm, you will find green plantains, you will find oranges, you will find guanabanas, and many products that doesn't come to my mind in English right now.
Mango and pineapple, I think. Simon told me.
Yes. So how do you do that? And most important, how do you organize your finances, and how can you get that churn into your economic empowerment?
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do with these people. And in this project, we have 60 young farmers, if we call it like that, and 30 of them are women.
Okay, nice. Half.
Yeah, it happened like that, but we really wanted to, to make sure how many of them were involved on this type of project. And something beautiful to see this is that the energy and the commitment of the woman.
Yeah.
I have to say that when a woman gets passionate about something, we will get deep, really deep.
Yeah, I know what it's like.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, how do the young people respond to those projects? But that sounds very enthusiastic and very promising. It's nice.
It's not easy. It's been a project that we have been developing for almost 2 years in coordination with one NGO in Ecuador and as well with the university, La Universidad Central del Ecuador. It's the local university in Quito. And we have data that we also gonna be releasing by the second quarter of this year as well. We're very excited about that. But the most important and the most difficult part of it here, it was in the beginning to get them committed. Because, and also make them to understand that, again, education and gaining skills is the only way where they can accomplish any dream, because as any people, they have their dreams as well. And they also want to explore, which I'm one of the explorer, like, wherever I go, I just want to go out in the street and explore. So, and we understand that to them. But what we also want, somehow trying to collaborate with them, is having that balance where you're able to be economic sustainable with what you have and get the skills and keep exploring the world. But just going from one environment to where you don't know where you're going or what you're going to do, and it's very uncertain, and is a lot of struggles that you might carry afterwards.
Okay, but really, really impressive. I'm very excited to hear how these things are gonna go. So as a last question, I wanted to know what your vision is for Conexión Chocolate. I mean, you've already, I think I can figure out some of the visions, but maybe there's something you haven't talked about yet. So how you see the future, what projects may lie ahead.
Yes, so we have exciting projects coming up. As I mentioned to you, the woman project that we're going to be working in Vinces. But overall, about Conexión, I think we want to keep doing what we're doing, but we want to focus more on sustainability. And we want actually to position Conexión Chocolate as a sustainable chocolate in the market. That's not something easy to do it. We have a big challenges ahead, but we're also building a strong team. And currently we have 5 women and 2 men.
Okay, nice.
We will always need men. But we're building a very strong team, and we're super happy as well to welcome one of the ladies that's gonna be collaborating with us in sustainability. She has over 10 years of experience working with one of the most influential companies in Ecuador. Sustainability. So we have big projects coming up about that, but our main goal and our main vision from now to 5 years is to be able to position our company as a sustainable company and transparent company, where where a buyer or any of our commercial allies, like in this case goodmoodfood, is able to trace the information. Like, we're buying the cacao from these farmers, it's being processed in this time, when we're going to be able to expect it. So
that sounds like a great project. I think that's, I mean, many people or many companies try to head in that direction, but it's definitely something that I think the customers as well, they're more and more, they're looking for that. And thanks to technology, it will become more and more possible, hopefully, to trace the cacao. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I think something important as well that we always say is it's important to trace the cacao, but I think it's also important to, I don't want to say trace, but to understand who is behind the
Yeah.
cacao.
Yeah.
And that's for us, Conexión actually comes through the human part of the industry, because it's, we need to be connected with the people.
Yeah.
People is who allowed us to have this great cacao. People is who allowed us to, you know, to sell the cacao in Germany.
Yeah.
So it's about the people. It's about that people that is still invisible out there, but that somehow we're in the mission of trying to do something. We're still a small company, but we really have our values well established. And the more that we're able to understand the market and see that, you know, only being a sustainable industry and involving people in what we're doing is gonna help us to bring better chocolate out there.
Yeah, I think when I look at your company profile and the website and everything, I've often seen, and in the videos as well, that the cacao farmers, they're sometimes wearing the Conexión t-shirt and stuff, and or they're trying their own product. And I think that's something that hit me, because I've read a lot as well about the African or West African cacao industry, and because they are facing so many challenges with child labor and everything. And I kept hearing that phrase, most cacao farmers or pickers, they have never even tried cacao. So I think that's really, it looks good what you're doing. And I think as me as an employee, I can feel how it's important to know what you're doing, and where does the thing I do, where does it go? Like, where does it end? And what does it taste like? You know, that's, I think that's really great.
Yes, yes. And as I say in one of your previous questions before, we understand that we all are humans. And, you know, if you work in a farm or if you are the CEO of a company, we all are people. And for us, I think that's the core, like, you know, trying to balance that part, that again, like, you know, this, not only in cocoa, but I feel in many agricultural products, the farmers are the ones that works the harder. And, you know, they are the ones that aren't being presented out there. So for us, as you know, we want to show them, we want to show their hard work, because we all enjoy chocolate, we all love chocolate, but we don't really still, I feel, understand how hard it is for a farmer to be able to collect 1 kilo of cocoa. 1 kilo. And from the farm, being able to bring that kilo of cocoa to the collection center and be for a quintal of cocoa, sometimes $40-$30 for a quintal after that hard working day. So I think that's, you know, something that the industry still needs to talk about, and, you know, how we can balance the world in these
insights into your company and the whole business. It's really, really great talking to you. And I think for so many people here in Germany, in Berlin, that we love your products, but we are detached in a way because you're so far away. So it's so great to really talk to you and like to put a face, one face at least on it. Thank you very much for the interview, and I hope to talk to you very soon. We're always in touch kind of anyways, but to keep me and our customers updated. So thank you very much, Jenny.
Thank you very much, Helena, and everybody in Good Mood Food. We really appreciate working with you guys. For us, it's been an opportunity, and we're really grateful for being able to have this collaboration with all of you.
Thank you.